So pretty much, let's see, the day before last, I'm training a client. We're putting some weight up. So the exercise on the agenda is the deadlift. Pretty much the deadlift in a nutshell, picking weight up off the floor like a boss, right? One of the most basic human functions, okay? Picking a weight up off the floor. So one of the key things that you need in order to pick up weight off the floor is you need to be able to hinge at the hip while keeping your back straight. And this is something that this particular client struggles with. So for about 15, 20 minutes before we start lifting, we drill those habits, because when he gets to his deadlift, grabs the bar, wraps his thumbs, his fingers around, starts pulling. So now the shoulders come forward, chest, belly button gets tucked in, back looks like the letter C. Awful, right? Brand new guy, so gotta have the patience. But I tell him to stop, don't pick up the weight, okay? Not until you can get your back straight. And he says, man, it's such a habit for me to round out my back. It's just, it's hard for me to keep my back straight and get in that starting position. So that experience gave me the idea to make this video. So let's see. Habits. He hit it right on the head. So now, in particular about habits, what I want to talk about today is starting positions. Developing habits in your starting position, or in your life, the start of your day. I like to refer to your mornings as your starting position. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, what do? You roll over, scroll through Facebook for 10, 20 minutes, half hour, wake up, eat a bowl of cereal loaded with sugar. Right? What do? Watch TV in the morning about stuff that has nothing to do with your goals. Do you read in the morning? What do? Right? Do you work out in the morning? What's your breakfast look like? Now, in my line of work, what I can tell you is the fact that either people eat terrible breakfasts or they don't eat breakfast at all. Okay, which is one of the worst things you do. And people tell me, I don't have time to eat breakfast. I'm not hungry in the morning. That's a serious problem, because now you're already getting off to a bad start on a daily basis because you have a habit of not even eating in the morning. So it's like, well, how do you sleep a whole night, 8 hours, 6, even 5 hours straight, wake up, not eat anything, and then go through a stressful day of work on an empty stomach? And then your first meal is like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and you woke up at like 5 or 6 o'clock. It's crazy to me. That's a terrible start. That's the equivalent to that nice rounded out back, and you pull that weight, and then those discs are just like, right? And then, bam, you're in the doctor's office. Got hurt. Right? So now, pretty much, we want to reinforce a good starting position. Now, let's take a look at your goals. Whether your goals are getting in shape, getting healthy, making tons of money, right? Having a successful business. Whatever your goals are, you got to develop the habits that fall in line with those goals. And the one main reason that I see for people not hitting their goals is the fact that their habits do not fall in line with their goals. So let's say, well, all right, well, where do I find good habits? So now I can go through a huge laundry list of good habits, but I'm going to hold you accountable for figuring that out for yourself. I want you to take a look at your goals, okay? And then I want you to take a look at your habits. Then after you do that, I want you to now go and research at least 10 people who have achieved what you want, and find out what their habits are. Find out what their morning habits are. Find out what their starting position looks like. Okay? Then you're going to match that up with your starting position. You're going to find the differences, and then you're going to use those differences, and you're now going to copy their habits and replace your habits with theirs. Okay, it makes sense? So pretty much you can't really get rid of a bad habit without placing a good one in, right? It's not how it works. It's like if I tell you stop smoking, okay, you're not going to just stop without replacing it with something else. So I'm more likely to tell you take the cigarette out of your mouth and start eating a carrot. Take the cigarette out your mouth, put some gum in your mouth, right? Stop eating bad food, start eating good food. You got to replace it with something. So what I want you to do is replace your bad habits with good habits of successful people. Now, a little tip for you is that those 10 people that you research, out of those 10 people, all of their starting positions are going to look the same or at least similar to one another. Very similar. Okay? Look at something like a deadlift. Pretty much all good starting positions look very similar. They pretty much look the same. Some people's feet may be a little wider. Some people may have a little bit more of a knee bend, but pretty much they all look the same. It's very distinct what's a good starting position, what's a bad starting position. It's very obvious. You know, just like you look at a bad morning versus a good morning, good habits versus bad habits. It's pretty obvious, but you need a comparison. So look up your top 10, find their morning habits, and start copying. It's all about duplication. Done.